It's time for my senior season here in the Arturo Modelo Road to Glory here on EA College Football 25. In the last episode, we played through our junior season, having transferred to the University of Miami, where things went really well up until the college football playoff, where we lost 34-24 against the Kansas State Wildcats. And this was a fascinating game because the entire team, with the exception of myself, did not show up. The defense was bad. I thought the quarterback play honestly was not that good. The run game really was not that good. And as you'll notice here, even though statistically Matthews had a good game, he missed a lot of throws, and I really was responsible for much of our offensive production. 23 receptions. That is a whole lot for 224 yards and 3 touchdowns. 23 receptions ties an all-time NCAA FBS single-game record. And we did it in a playoff game. So going into the offseason, I fully planned on returning to Miami. Unfinished business, I want to run it back. But I feel like the team is disrespecting me because they're not guaranteeing me my starting job. Did I not just carry you guys in a playoff game? I feel like it should be a given that I'm going to start here. So the fact that I have to earn my spot again makes me potentially want to consider transferring. Now, of course, in the Dragons franchise on Madden 24, we know that Arturo Modelo finished his career at Miami. But it would be fun to rewrite history, whether we go to an ACC rival to look to get revenge on Miami or somewhere else. So after thinking about it, I know the plan. We will be hopping into the transfer portal, and we are headed on the train, the Lane Train, as we'll be playing our final season of college football in Oxford, Mississippi with the Ole Miss Rebels. So the reason why I made this decision is, as I mentioned earlier, I felt disrespected by Miami not guaranteeing us a starting spot. I wanted to go to a program who plays in a big conference, the SEC, on a team who could use some help. Ole Miss only won 6 games last year, and where I can guarantee myself a day 1 starting position. And as you can see here, we're already the wide receiver 2, and we can earn the wide receiver 1 spot if we win the position battle. We've already graduated, although our academic advisor has followed us to our 3 schools. That seems a little bit weird. I don't think that's how it works. Why is the same advisor, following me? I don't get it. Anyway, we would crush it in the position battle, the final position battle of our collegiate career, ultimately winning all 3 of them to get the wide receiver 1 spot on the offense. So we will be the top target here, beating out George Ricci for the number 1 spot. So as we look at this Ole Miss team, they are unranked opening up the season. Miami, for what it's worth, starts at number 8. And we are not in the Heisman watch, but we're looking to change that here. Interestingly, a different Miami receiver is there, Jashisha Trader, who statistically I outperformed last year in less games. Okay, odd. Anyway, here is our schedule. So we have non-conference play against Charlotte, Yukon, Oregon State, and NC State. Not the toughest non-con slate, but then it gets hard going into the SEC with teams like Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, Texas, Auburn, A&M, and of course the Egg Bowl with Mississippi State at the end of this season. So we're really going to focus on branding because I want to put myself in position to win some national awards, and I think branding myself will do that. And as you can see here with this NIL contract from Nissan, we'll be getting 750,000 followers at the end of the contract, along with a small boost. So that's a big deal. It ups my brand, and it makes me better as a player as well. It's nice not having to worry about my grades, even though I only had a 2.4 GPA through the first 3 years. I'm not really sure how I graduated early, but we're going to roll with it. That'll bring us into the first game of the season here at home against the Charlotte 49ers. And funny enough, I almost went to Charlotte at the start of this series. It was either them or Coastal Carolina, and ultimately, I obviously chose the Chants. So let's get this started. My first opportunity in the Ole Miss powder blue on offense. I'm trying to get open here towards the sideline. I'm able to make that catch for the first down, but Charlotte would be the first ones to score. They lead at 7-0 with under 4 minutes to go in the quarter. A lot of pre-snap motion in this offense. I'm already getting Mike McDaniel Dolphins vibes as that pass is overthrown from senior quarterback A.J. Maddox, who's been a productive player over his collegiate career. I think he's an 84 overall, and I feel confident with him as my QB going into the season as I'm able to get a short pass, getting a few yards, not enough for the first down conversion. But we do have it here in the red zone, and of course, you guys know the drill. No block, no rock. touchdown, and Ole Miss ties it at 7. Let's fast forward a little bit. Score remains knotted up at 7 apiece here late in the first quarter. I've got some space open downfield, able to hold that one in for a first down. And already I feel like I have pretty good chemistry early on with A.J. Maddox. I've had 4 different quarterbacks in my 4 years as a receiver, so I really haven't been able to get with that one guy. But I'm hoping here in this one season with A.J. Maddox, we're going to be able to make some damage in the SEC. Here I am going towards the sideline. That pass is overthrown again, so certainly not a perfect start with Maddox. And as you can tell, this game's a lot closer than it should be. 10-7 halfway through the second quarter. I'm trying to get open here again towards the sidelines. A lot of short passes so far. I haven't really been able to get open deep, but we're still in the first half. We still got time in the red zone. First and goal from around the 10. I definitely want to be utilized in the red zone more. I think where my inconsistencies have lied as a receiver is scoring touchdowns. We had the big game against Pitt last year with 4, but other than that, we haven't been able to consistently score, so it's nice getting a touchdown here in my first half of the first game of the season. Good throw from A.J. Maddox, and that'll put us ahead 17-7. A slow start here for Ole Miss, but we're definitely picking things up here late in the first half, getting more comfortable as a team, and it seems like the defense likewise is improving as well. Now the game is 24-7 late in the first half, and we have an opportunity to turn this into a blowout. I was open there, but the pass was underthrown before I took a shot at the end of the play from the safety. Third down now, up the middle. I'm open, and I've got some space after the catch with the juke move, trying to outrun the defense. And I get it to around the 17-yard line. What a play after the catch. Another area of my game that I really want to expertise here as a senior. Here in the corner, I hang on, dragging the feet inbounds. Second touchdown of the game. It's Modelo time. And Ole Miss leads it 31-7. A big second quarter there for the offense. We've been able to move the ball down the field. We've been successful in the red zone. Obviously, I've got the 2 touchdowns, and we've got to be feeling pretty good here going into the third quarter, up by 24 points. So I'm expecting a pretty quiet second half individually, given our lead. But I'm still going to try to get open, still try to make plays as I get a first down there near the sideline. 2nd and 3 now from just outside the 40. I've got plenty of space downfield. I'm able to keep the feet in, breaking the initial tackle, and bringing it past the 35-yard line. Not very good coverage on that play from the Charlotte 49ers, as that will bring us into the fourth quarter. Same score. The offense didn't get a whole lot going in the third quarter, but it shouldn't matter. We should be able to run the ball here in the fourth quarter, chew some clock. No block, no rock. Back in the red zone. First and goal. A big block from yours truly, leading to a touchdown for the running back. And it's 38-7 in favor of Ole Miss. A tune-up game, but certainly a good showing from the team nonetheless. And ultimately, we end up winning it 38-14. So a really good showing here from Ole Miss. I feel like I played pretty good in my first game, scoring twice, making a big impact in the passing game. Ezekiel Ugo, the running back, wins the player of the game with his 2.5 yards per carry. Okay. He did score 3 touchdowns, but I scored twice. I had more yards. I was way more efficient as a receiver. But, okay, I'm not going to complain. We got the win, and that's ultimately what matters at the end of the day. Statistically, A.J. Maddox had a pretty good game. He was super accurate, 22 of 28, 2 touchdowns. He did miss a couple of throws to me, but overall, I feel pretty good with this being our first game together. As I mentioned, Ugo did not have an efficient game on the ground. Me, however, 11 for 160 and 2 scores. Not too bad. Good start to the year, as the offensive coordinator is going to challenge us to triple-digit receiving yards, 40 after the catch, and a receiving touchdown. And we have to win this game. Week 2 in Storrs, Connecticut, against the Yukon Huskies, who are 2-0. 2 unconvincing wins against FCS Southeast, and then a road win against Florida International. So definitely not the best teams on the Yukon schedule. But they are at home, and we'll see if they can possibly look to shock the world against the Ole Miss squad coming off a good Week 1 against the Charlotte 49ers. So we'll get things started here early in the first quarter. What a block! Leading to a big play after the catch there for the big tight end. And that brings us into the red zone at around the 6 or 7 yard line. I'm looking here for the signature Arturo Modelo out route, but the pass is overthrown by A.J. Maddox. 3rd and goal now at the 4. Lined up in the slot. Crowded throw, and I hang on for the score. It's Modelo time for the third time this season, and already I feel like I've really been able to make plays in the red zone, which, as I mentioned earlier, has been an issue for me in my career at both Coastal and Miami. I feel like I wasn't really able to be impactful in this area of the field, but I have been this year as I make a nice cut there, fooling the defensive back, breaking the tackle, and bringing it inside the 30. We ended up missing the extra point, but we would kick a field goal, so it's 9-0. Defense has been really good up to this point, as I'm able to hang on to that one up the middle for another first down, and that's going to send us into the red zone, looking to add to this lead. They're in press coverage, which is music to my ears because I'm able to beat these corners off the line pretty quickly. Now, that ended up being a tough contested catch, but I'm able to hang on to it as I'm looking here to the side, hanging on for another score. Once again, back-to-back multi-touchdown games from Arturo Modelo, and it's probably going to be 16-0 Ole Miss, pending the kick. Again, making plays in the red zone, beating the corner off the line, and then I saw I had all that space to the right side of the field, making it an easy throw for Maddox. And here I am, wide open down the field! Nobody's in front of me! Adding to the lead for Ole Miss. It's a hat trick, my third touchdown of the game. I knew that was going to be a touchdown as soon as I lined up. Again, I saw they were in press coverage, and it looked like they had a single high safety. That's music to my ears because I know I'm running a fade route down the field. I know I'm able to beat my corner off the line, and that safety's not going to be able to make up that space. So that should be a touchdown as long as the quarterback makes the throw, and he does. 6 for 127 and 3 scores for yours truly, as it's 23-0 Ole Miss. Looking for another big play after the catch, as I'm able to get that one to just outside of the 30-yard line. Following play up the middle again. Why are these guys not covering me? There's so much space here in the middle of the field. Obviously, I've completed the challenge my offensive coordinator set 40 yards after the catch. I might get 400 the way these guys are covering me. Again, up the middle. I could have done more with that play, but still another first down, beating the corners off the line really quickly. They've got to stop running press and have these guys farther away from the line of scrimmage. Here we are with plenty of time to throw it, but ultimately a sack. It looked like I was finally about to get open, but unfortunately Maddox is unable to get rid of the ball there. And that'll wrap up a busy first half for your boy. 23-0. 3 receiving touchdowns here in the first half for Arturo Modelo. 2 short ones, and then the long play. 9 catches for 184 and 3 touchdowns specifically. 15 targets, though. I'm only catching the ball 60% of the time it's thrown my way. I think I only have 1 drop, so it's not necessarily my fault, but I still want that rate to be higher to continue to incentivize Maddox to throw the ball my way. Into the second half. Look at all this space! Another huge play after the catch. They will not catch me. Touchdown number 4. Once again, it's Modelo time. Placing the ball into the end zone. What an unbelievable performance, rivaling the game I had against Pitt last year. Now, albeit Pitt is certainly a more formidable opponent than Yukon, but still, I am torching this secondary. I am uncoverable. I'm untackleable. 10 catches for over 240. Look at all that space up the middle again. I feel like Yukon just has 7 Helen Kellers in the secondary because, well, they can't cover worth a damn. 37-3. Late here in the third, Yukon has finally scored. I dropped that pass. Apparently, they're not going to count it as a drop, which is odd. But here I am down the field with all this space again. Touchdown number 5. A whole hand of touchdowns. That's a career high in receiving touchdowns, striking the Heisman pose. And you know what? Deservedly so. Given the performance I've had today, it has been Heisman-esque. 5 receiving touchdowns. I think over 300 yards at this point. I mean, the game I've had with some of these long touchdowns has been ridiculous, whether it's big plays after the catch or just outrunning these defensive backs on deep passes down the field. 12 catches, 328 yards, and 5 touchdowns. My goodness. We're going to run the clock out here in the fourth quarter, winning this game 44-6. A blowout. And your boy put on a show today. Again, 12 catches, 328 yards, and 5 touchdowns. The latter 2, of course, being career highs. And Unreal showing from Arturo Modelo, who legitimately had one of the best individual offensive games, let alone receiving games, I've seen at the collegiate level, maybe ever. And sure, we're an SEC player going up against Yukon. But no matter how you put it, it's still impressive. And we did that in 3 quarters. We didn't really play in the 4th, given that the team was up by so much. So through 2 games, I've already scored 7 times. I barely scored 7 touchdowns in my 2 years at Coastal Carolina. A.J. Maddox missed some throws, but he had some big ones with around 20 yards per completion. And then obviously my numbers, unreal. 12 for 328 and 5 with 130 yards after the catch. So obviously I completed the challenge. I more than tripled the goals that the offensive coordinator set for me. Coach trust increases as the team is now 2-0, and that'll bring us into week number 3 as we get another NIL offer. The more the merrier. +3 short route running up front, and then +3 medium route running at the end of the contract. The better route running ratings, the better. So obviously I win the SEC Player of the Week, but that's not the only award I take home. Also winning the National Offensive Player of the Week. I'm pretty sure this is the 2nd time I've won this. So again, no surprise, but it's nice that I'm being recognized. Now, unfortunately, I'm not on the Heisman watch. There is another receiver, though. Iverson Hooks of UAB finds himself in 2nd place, but not me, which is a little bit odd considering I broke the single-game receiving yards record for Ole Miss and receiving touchdowns record, but not receptions. I was, I think, 2 off. Dontario Drummond has 14. Lion legend, by the way. But we also broke the all-time SEC record for yards in a game. We were still quite a bit off in terms of national. Troy Edwards with 405. We would have needed another 80 or so. But still, nonetheless, a historic game. No player in SEC history has put up more receiving yards in a game than I just did. Now, as you can see here, looking at the polls, we are ranked after our Week 3 bye week. Miami as well is ranked. They're number 4. They're 3-0. They really haven't missed me at all. So I guess the split has worked out for both parties. I'm still not on the Heisman watch, although there's a different Miami receiver. Dante Little, who against South Carolina had 10 catches for 300 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's probably more impressive than the game I had against Yukon, to be completely honest. So I'm not really going to argue with them putting him on the list over me because those numbers are ridiculous. That'll bring us here at home against Oregon State, the Beavers of the Pac-2 Conference. As I'm looking to make a play here off the screen, and I get a few yards after the catch. That'll go there for the first down. But overall, it's been a quiet start for me. I was open downfield there looking for the touchdown, but Maddox overthrew it. Currently tied at 7 here early in the 2nd. I've only got the 1 catch so far. Hoping for another one, as I am not going to hold on to this one. Maddox throws the ball way too late, and the defensive back is able to make a play on the ball. I was open, but again, he timed that pass horribly. Looking downfield, it's caught not by me, but an impressive block leads to a first down. Again, no block, no rock. I haven't gotten the ball much today, but I'm still going to block for these guys as I finally haul in another catch, my 2nd of the game, and that'll go for a first down to around the 25-yard line. 10-7 now. I'm wide open down the field. That could have been a touchdown, but again, he underthrew me a little bit. I feel like I have good chemistry with Maddox, but he's missed quite a few throws through the first few weeks of the year. Targeting me certainly has not been a perfect start to the season for the senior quarterback. 2nd and goal now, looking for the end zone. Now that was a beautiful throw from Maddox and a really impressive over-the-shoulders grab for Modelo. His 8th receiving touchdown of the year. That's a lot. And it's now 17-7 Ole Miss. A slow start for the offense, but we have certainly picked things up here late in the first half. Again, really impressive pinpoint throw and an NFL-esque reception by yours truly, hinting at what's to come at the next level with, of course, evidently, the St. Louis Dragons. So let's move forward a little bit as that'll bring us later into the first half. And I'm open downfield, but it was underthrown again. That's a touchdown if he puts a little bit more loft onto that ball. 2nd and 8, down to 16 seconds left. I've got space up the middle. Another score. It's Modelo time once again. My 9th receiving touchdown of the year. I said going into this season I wanted to score a lot of touchdowns. We're already at 9, and we're halfway through our 3rd game. I think I'm doing a good job of scoring. It's 27-10. Really nice throw. Risky pass. I'm able to hold on there with Maddox threading the needle for the first down. As we're continuing to move it well, that'll push us into the red zone. Big hit from the defensive back, but I'm able to hang on to the ball. 2nd and 9 now. Looks like a design screen. I'm hoping to make a play after the catch. Outrunning the defender. Honestly, a pretty good gain, but it will not get us a score. Ole Miss would take us out of the game, unfortunately. We would score on that possession, and we would mostly chew clock the rest of the way. 44-17, good win here for the Rebels as we are now 3-0. We've taken care of business against some of the easier Group 5 opponents on the non-conference slate with Charlotte, Yukon, and Oregon State. No funny business. We blew all 3 of these opponents out, and we are now ready for the hard part of the season, starting with NC State next week and then going into SEC play. I feel like A.J. Maddox did not have that good of the game, though. He missed a lot of throws for me, but I was still able to get my fair share. 8 for 127 and 2 scores, ultimately leading us to another win, 3-0. And as you can see here, I now have the full bar for leadership. So that's pretty cool. That'll bring us into week 4. We have moved up to number 12 in the rankings, and I've been saving up some skill points. I think I'm going to throw them into hands. Never hurts to be better at catching the football, but ultimately my rating would be unchanged. We're still in 82 overall, but I will point out my mental abilities, they seem to be growing in terms of how useful they are. So that's pretty cool. My production has led to my abilities improving. Now, I certainly wouldn't call it ideal that the team is already down 14-0, and I'd call it less ideal that A.J. Maddox is picked off by the big fella. Certainly a disastrous first quarter. Let's go early into the second. It's 28-0. What has happened? Finally, I'm able to hang on to this ball, my first catch of the game. But how are we down by 28? The game started 10 minutes ago. This is unbelievable. Up the middle. Gain of around 10 or 11. That'll go for another first down. We would end up kicking a field goal. It's 28-3. Our defense has been abysmal. The offense has been god-awful. I mean, this game has been a complete train wreck, and I have not been able to get involved, although I have made some nice plays here in this second. I broke a few tackles there. I just needed one more to get the touchdown, but we would score there, making it 28-10. Maybe we can do a little bit of damage. We're only down by 18 only, and we are starting with the ball. So if we do score on this possession, you never know, things could get a little bit weird. It's a design screen. I've got some blocks ahead, almost able to get the first down. Now on the goal line, 3rd and goal from the 2, pre-snap motion. I'm hoping to get open here towards the sideline, and I hang on. It's Modelo time. Touchdown number 10 on the season for Arturo Modelo. NC State would kick a field goal. It's a 14-point game going into the 4th. We have a pulse. It's unlikely, but we have a pulse. We're not out of it as I make a nice play after the catch there, bringing it to around the 20, and we would score another touchdown on that drive, and the defense would get a stop. So with 3 minutes to go, we're only down by 7. We can come back by driving down the field and tying the game, and we're moving it pretty well here with a minute and a half to go on the possession. I'm able to hold on to this ball, breaking the tackle to the 1. We're right there, but the question is, can we tie the game or possibly go for 2 after the touchdown? So we would tie it up at 31. Defense gets the stop, and that means we have a chance to win this game in regulation after being down 28-0. First play of the drive. I'm open downfield. I get by the corner. Nobody's in front of me. Ole Miss has taken the lead. 28-0. We were down by, and now we're winning. Once again, it is Modelo time. My 11th, and without a doubt, biggest touchdown of the season. Again, they're in press coverage. There's no safety back deep in that area. Once I'm able to win the rep off the line of scrimmage, they're not catching me. A big play from yours truly, and now it's up to this defense, who's only allowed 3 points since early in the second quarter. We need one more stop, and we get it. What a win for the University of Mississippi. Ole Miss takes it home 38-31 after, again, being down 28-0 early in the second quarter. The offense was able to dial in. The defense was incredible over the final 3 quarters. certainly a tale of two. Now, I will say I am concerned by our team's early performance. As we play SEC teams, we might not be able to come back down 28, but it was still really good seeing the resilience from our squad. Maddox had nearly the same amount of touchdowns as incompletions, 11 for 221 and 2 scores, including 100 yards after the catch and the 68-yarder to win the game. I'm going to credit my teammates for our winning streak. I feel like it's been a really good group effort. I think defensively we've had a strong season. I've enjoyed playing with A.J. Maddox, even though it hasn't been perfect. I know we have a sociology paper and presentation that's due. I'm not going to risk cheating. Now, the weird thing is, didn't we already graduate? Why am I doing sociology papers and presentations if I've already graduated? Am I seriously doing extra schoolwork for the love of the game? That's psychotic behavior. But you know what? If that's what you enjoy doing, buddy, have at it. Maybe he's pursuing a master's degree. I don't know. So through 4 games, our non-conference slate, I'm at 42 catches for a wild 826 yards and 11 touchdowns. That is ridiculous. It's almost as ridiculous as not being on the Heisman watch. Yet Iverson Hooks, who had 3 receptions last week for a Group 5 team, is on the list. Anyway, we have moved up to number 7. We're 4-0, and we've got a huge game this week hosting the number 2 ranked Tennessee Volunteers. Now, interestingly, they're not undefeated. They're 3-1, but they are number 2. It's been an interesting college football season with a lot of movement. I mean, we started the year unranked, and now we're number 7 already. So that should really tell you everything you need to know. Going into SEC play, it's going to be a major challenge, none of which might be harder than this game against the great Tennessee team, as I drop maybe the easiest pass of my life. I mean, that was brutal. On 3rd down, here on the out route, I'm able to hang on to this one. That'll go for a 1st down, moving the chains. Here in the red zone, this pass is intercepted, underthrown, and picked off. Again, we don't have the luxuries of playing the Charlottes and the Yukons of the world. We're going to be playing against much better defensive backs, and we have to get used to it. 7-0 here into the second quarter. It's been a pretty quiet game for me for the most part. I'm really trying to get active, make some big plays up the middle, taking a big hit at the end, but I'm able to hang on for the 1st down. 4th and 1, look at this. The offense is going to go for it. Short catch, I dive right down. No need to risk anything. Just get the conversion and keep the chains moving. 3rd and 10, quick throw. I definitely did not call for the ball there, but I'm able to hang on. It looked like I kind of dropped it at the end, but it looks like I had possession for long enough for that to be a catch as I'm breaking tackles in for another score. And for those of you counting at home, that is my 12th touchdown of this season, which ties a career high from last year. Now, the big difference is that last year I played in 14 games, albeit I only started in 10. But this year I've only played in 4.5 games, and we're already at 12 as I'm able to make another nice grab up the middle. Now, as you can see, we're losing once again. Tennessee marched right down the field and scored. We're looking to get some late damage before the half, but Maddox is intercepted again, and the defensive back has room to return. Final play of the first half. Can he go all the way? He's in for a pick 6. A brutal end of the first half for Ole Miss as the Vols add to the lead. It's 21-7. Going into the 3rd quarter, and we've got to make up some damage control against the 2nd-ranked team in the nation. It's not going to be easy, but we're at home. Obviously, we came back down 28-0, so this is cake in comparison to that. Big couple of blocks down the field, huge run. We've got to continue to get the ground game going because we've ran it really well. 10 carries, 80 yards for the running back, Ugo. And then later in the 3rd, I'm open in the end zone. I'm able to hang on for my 13th touchdown of the season, which officially is a career high in receiving touchdowns. And again, we're only in the 5th game of the season, which is insane to think about. So a lot ended up happening in the 4th quarter. We would tie the game. We would take the lead with a field goal, but they would get 3 of their own. And we're going to get the ball back with under a minute to go here in the 4th and a chance to potentially win the game in regulation. And that's a good start. Nice play up the middle, gets us close to midfield, and they're going to take us out of the game here. Can't say I agree with that. We just got to get to field goal range here. A gain of 20 or 30 yards puts us in position to maybe end the game, but ultimately we don't score a field goal, and that brings us into overtime. We're going to start with the football, and we'll see if we can strike first. On 3rd and 13, it's a screen for me, breaking the tackle, not able to get the 1st down, so Ole Miss ends up getting the stop. We're going to have to settle for a field goal, and now we're going to need the defense to save the game, save the undefeated season, and Tennessee ends up tacking on 2 field goals. So now we get the ball back. Field goal ties, touchdown wins. The ball is in our courts. As I almost got a big play there, still a solid gain of around 5. Second down. Here I'm able to make a nice grab. Trying to push my way into the end zone, but I'm short at around the 2. First and goal. Let's end this game for good. Looking for the hat trick here for the end zone. It's caught by the defense. It's intercepted, and Tennessee knocks off the undefeated Rebels in double overtime here in Oxford. 30-27, the final score of what ended up being a wild game. A.J. Maddox is picked off 3 times, including the pick 6 to end the first half. If not for that, we probably win the game. And then the interception here on the final play of the game. I was covered, but I think if he throws that ball a little bit ahead of me, I could have easily caught it. Maddox only threw, I think, 5 or 6 incompletions, but half of them were interceptions. We ran the ball well. I had a good game through the air, although my quietest game of the season, but still very solid. 10 for 106 and 2 scores. And I'm going to get +5 spin move here for another NIL deal. Ultimately, we would not move down in the rankings. We're still number 7. I guess the committee views it as a good loss. I feel like we should move down, though. It's still a loss, but I'm not going to complain, as Tennessee now holds the number 1 spot. And things aren't going to get a whole lot easier for us. We're headed to Tuscaloosa, facing off against the Alabama Crimson Tide, who have not had a great season this year. But anytime you head to Bryant-Denny, it is going to be a challenge. As Maddox has plenty of time to throw it there, I'm able to get open, making a nice play there, ending the first quarter. My only catch of the quarter. It's been a defensive battle so far. No score here. Into the second, up the middle. I'm able to hang on to this one, taking a big hit late, but it goes for another first down. Maddox has already been intercepted again today. He's a good quarterback, but it seems like he throws way too many interceptions. So I'm able to hang on to this one, not staying in bounds, though, for the touchdown, but we would score, leading at 7-0 now into the second. That was, again, not a great throw, but I do a good job of quickly flipping my body to hold on to that one. 3rd and 8 now, late in the second quarter. I'm wide open up the middle of the field. Horrible coverage by the Alabama defense. 5 for 72 here in the first half. Not too bad as it's 7-3 into the third. Again, we're not getting a whole lot offensively as I'm not able to hold on to that ball. But it hasn't really mattered. The defense has been so good for us. 3rd and 8 up the middle. I do hang on to this one. That'll go for a first down to around the 40. And the offense appears to be moving it nicely. It is a 3rd and 22, but look at this. They're in press coverage. This is my chance to get open, but the corner ends up sticking with me the entire route. I was trying to get something to the sideline, putting us in field goal range, but I'm not able to hang on to the ball as it's still 7-3 late in the third. Again, corners in press. This time I beat him off the line, and I get a nice gain after the catch past the 50 for a first down as we move into the fourth quarter. Looking to make it a 2-score lead here on 1st and 10 up the middle. I'm open. I hang on to this one. That goes for a first down, and we now have it inside the 15. 3rd down and 13, though. Not going to be easy. I'm able to catch the out route, but I'm only going to get it to around the 5. So the Alabama defense does hold. They're able to get the stop, and we would miss the field goal. It remains 7-3 with under 4 minutes to go now. We're trying to choose some clock. Fumble! Ball's out, and thankfully the offense recovers. That could have been bad news. 2nd and 14 now. Ole Miss going to the air. Risky throw, and I do not hold on to that one. So we don't get any yardage, and the clock stops. 3rd and 14, again, looking to pass, and I'm able to beat the corner off the line. I'm able to make a nice cut and getting the first down. I tried to stay in bounds. Unfortunately, I could not. But still, it's worth it to get a big first down, pushing us into the red zone, giving us an opportunity to chew more clock, and we will get a lot of scoring over the next couple of minutes. It's now 17-10. But again, another chance for us to chew some clock, look to finish the game off for good. 3rd and 10 with around 50-ish seconds. We're going to run the ball up the middle. We don't get the first down, but we're in field goal range. Kick puts us up by 10 and should potentially ice the game for us. So we'll see if we're going to be able to get the job done here with a nice lead. We do kick the field goal, and ultimately, that'll be the dagger. Ole Miss wins a defensive battle, 20-10 here, getting back on the win column here, beating the Alabama Crimson Tide. 10 for 152 for yours truly. First game this year without multiple touchdowns, let alone one. but I still ended up winning the player of the game because, well, nobody else on offense stood out, obviously, and I guess there wasn't really one or two elite guys defensively, but the defense is the reason why we won the game. Maddox did not have a great performance. The run game was subpar, and for my standards, I had a pretty quiet game. Still really good for anybody else, but I didn't score for the first time all season. We end up moving to number 4 after the win, and I'm now over the 1,000 yards mark receiving-wise. We're only halfway through the regular season, so theoretically, if I stay at this pace, I could break the all-time college football single-season receiving yards record in just the regular season. Probably will not stay on this pace playing against all SEC teams the rest of the year, but it is worth noting as Maddox misfires, but I'm able to draw the pass interference. Drawing flags is an art as a wide receiver. Really nice play there as we're able to get the first down, keeping the chains moving. Short pass, curls get the girls as I get around 6 or 7 yards. And now we have it in the red zone. First and goal from around the 9, looking for the corner route. But Maddox misses another throw, and it certainly can't be helpful that we're playing in the rain. Third and goal, back to the corner. Incomplete again. Good coverage there in the secondary. We would end up kicking a field goal. Game is tied at 3 with under a minute to go here in the first quarter here as I'm able to hold on to this one before taking a shot by the corner. But I'm able to get the first down, keeping the chains moving. It's now 10-6 late in the second. Our team has the lead. I've had a pretty quiet game, though, overall, as I get the short catch there. First and goal now, looking for the Modelo out route. There we go, our first touchdown in a couple of weeks. Once again, it is Modelo time. Touchdown number 14 on the season, and it's 17-6, adding to our lead against a solid Missouri squad as I'm able to make a nice play up the middle here late in the first half. We have a nice opportunity to add to our lead despite not having much time, little over 20 seconds here, but look at all this space. I'm on an island. Problem is Maddox doesn't see it. He's looking downfield for the other outside receiver, and it's incomplete. That was a touchdown. I beat the corner off the line of scrimmage immediately. Maddox didn't see me. 3rd and 13 now. Out route, first down, out of bounds here. It's 20-17 now into the fourth quarter. Missouri has made it a game, and I've been quiet here in the second half as I'm trying to get something here on the screen. I ended up getting a pretty nice gain of around 7 yards. Good job there after the catch, keeping the chains moving. But this game certainly is not won yet. We've got to be smart here on offense. Can't turn the ball over. Got to make consistent plays like that one, going for a first down. So now with around 5 minutes to go, once again, they will take us out of the game. I'm curious to see what happens here over this next stretch as we get a field goal. But Missouri with a touchdown. They take the lead with a minute and a half to go, and now we need a big drive from the quarterback, A.J. Maddox, and the offense. Gain of 3 to start the drive. 3rd and 7. We are in field goal range now, so we just got to be smart with how we manage this as we do get the first down, and that puts us in prime position to choose some clock. I'm still not wanting the field goal because I don't trust our kicker. Look for the end zone if possible, but do not risk turning the ball over. We got a little bit cute there. So on 3rd and 9, I think we're going to run the ball, just try to center the kick, have Missouri burn a timeout, and with that, we should be able to kick this field goal, adding to the lead, and now it's up to the defense. All the Tigers need is 3 points to win the game. We'll see if the defense can get the job done, and they do. We make the field goal, defense gets the stop, and Ole Miss hangs on with a close win, 26-24, despite a really impressive comeback here late by Missouri. Pretty solid game for me, although it was my first game of the year with less than 10 catches and less than 100 yards. Honestly impressive that it took this long, and I still ended up with 9 for 98 in a score. Maddox was pretty solid, missed some throws, but at least he didn't turn the ball over. And then for me, solid game. Didn't do a whole lot after the catch, though. I thought Missouri's coverage was quite solid. Got to shout out the kicker, Akeem Singleton. He was very busy, making 6 kicks, including the game winner. Our game day challenge will be to catch 10 passes. That's something we've done in every game this year except for this last one. We're going to get another NIL contract signed. The more, the merrier, as that sets us up for our matchup against Texas. And I've been saving up more skill points. I'm going to throw them into the hands category. I feel like my catching's been a little inconsistent this year. It hasn't been bad, but it certainly could be a little bit better. With Tennessee losing, we have climbed up all the way to number 2. Only Clemson is ahead of us, and Miami is right behind us at number 3. It would be poetic justice if we play against Miami in the playoff this year. I am praying that that ultimately happens, but we've got to get to the playoff first, as we're up 2-0. Defense is off to a good start here against Arch Manning and the Longhorns. That was not a good throw, but an impressive catch by me to be able to track the football and make sure the defensive back does not end up with it. 2nd and 3, short pass is caught. That'll go for a first down. Again, moving the chains. Final play of the first quarter, 3rd and 8. I've got some space here to the right side. One-handed grab, but I'm not able to move forward for the first down. We would kick a field goal and lead it 5-0 now here in the second. Defense is playing well again, but we haven't gotten a ton out of the offense as I'm able to hold on to this one up the middle. That'll go for a first down. Chains move once more. Here we go, up the middle again. I don't know why he threw it to the left side, but again, I'm able to make a nice play, hanging on to the football, and the offense is starting to move the ball down the field pretty well. With around 4.5 to go, looking for the out route, and the Arturo out route strikes again, 5 for 57 here in the first half. Pretty solid, no big plays, but I've been productive in the short game. Big block there, leading to almost a touchdown. We have that at around the 1-yard line. And here on 4th and goal, we're going to go for it. Let's see if the offense can punch it in. We do. Rushing touchdown. And the Rebels lead it 12-0. We'll get it back late in the first half. Defense is having themselves a game. I'm wide open here. If only I had a little bit more breakaway speed to get by the defensive back, because that was a good throw. I was open there. Maddox doesn't send it my way, and instead he's intercepted. Right as I'm kind of gassing him up, he does that. Not ideal. Texas scores a touchdown. They're back in the game. It's 12-7. As Maddox throws the ball, it looked like below me. So that's not very good. 2nd and 10 up the middle. Good coverage there by the defensive back. I don't think I called for the ball there because I was not open at all. First down now. We're trailing by 3. 15-12. Downfield deep shot. Underthrown. AJ Maddox is just flat out not having a good game. He has been bad today. Short pass, I'm able to catch that one. It goes for a decent gain. Still 15-12 here. 2nd and 5 from the 45. I've got some space here to the right side. Looking for the out route. That goes for another first down. Solid short gain. Keeping the chains moving. Pushing ourselves towards field goal range. Again, the Arturo out route strikes once more. Almost able to get the first down. Now it's 3rd and 4. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. I'm looking for some space here up the middle, but it's a sack. Texas with a big defensive play. We would ultimately kick the field goal, tying the game, knotted up at 15, with just over 6 to go in the fourth. As the defense holds for another stop. What a play! Modelo was able to track it down. Not the best throw. He kind of led me on there. That wasn't really where I was looking for, but it got his extra yard, so it works out. With plenty of time to pass, and I'm able to mix up my route and get a big play after the catch. Weaving through defenders. They won't catch me. It's Modelo time. What a maneuver after the catch for the touchdown. It's night-night. Shout out Curry. Gold medaling it in the end zone for the score, and it is now going to be 22-15 in favor of the Rebels. That was a filthy play. There was like 8 defensive backs in the area. None of them even touched me. Again, an unbelievable play after the catch. We'll see if the defense can continue to hold, and they would. 15-22, your final. A competitive win here against a ranked Texas team. The offense really was not great. Maddox did not have a great game through the air. I end up winning player of the game. But the defense, again, got to give them credit. I feel like our defense, for the most part, has been really good this year. We've had some bad moments, allowing 28 points in 10 minutes to NC State, being at the top of the list. But overall, I feel like our defense has been really good. Maddox did it the 2 interceptions and was inaccurate for his standards. But Ezekiel Ugo had a huge game on the ground. You could have argued he should have won player of the game. And then for me, 11 for 171 and a score. But I did drop 2 passes, which is odd considering I just had the big boost to my catching rating. So obviously I caught double-digit passes. That'll help my coach trust as I was able to complete the challenge set by the offensive coordinator. So with that, we are now 7-1, and we are number 1 going into Week 10. That's pretty cool. We ended up jumping Clemson. They didn't lose. But since we beat a good Texas team, we moved ahead of them. And look at this. I'm on the Heisman list. I'm number 4. It's been long overdue, but better late than never. I've been considered for the Heisman Trophy, and now that we're in Week 10, we get to see some other things here, including award races and the first look at the college football playoff bracket. So I'm first for Player of the Year currently, second for Best Receiver, and we're currently the 5 seed in the playoff bracket because we're not technically winning the conference. Texas A&M is the same in-conference record than us. I guess they have some tiebreaker. We'll get to play them in a couple weeks, so hopefully we can reverse the tiebreaker. Arkansas as well is ahead of us too. Now, interestingly, A&M is ranked lower than multiple Group 5 schools with East Carolina and Wyoming. So A&M is not currently in the playoff, and we are currently the only SEC team here, which is pretty odd. One SEC playoff team. Not what I expected going into the season, but as long as it's us, I can't say I'm too upset. Now we get to play Vanderbilt, and on paper, this feels like an easy win for everybody within the SEC. Now, Vanderbilt's won a couple games in a row, though, so I don't want to take these guys too easy, but considering we're the number 1 team in the nation, this is a game we certainly should win. It's a screen. I've got some blocks, but I cannot outrun the defensive back. Even though he plays for Vanderbilt, he is still an SEC athlete. It's 2-0, but I'm able to break away. In for a score. Finally, the offense with some points. It took us over a quarter, but we're able to do it there with a nifty play after the catch. And once again, it is Modelo time. 9-0 in favor of Ole Miss. As we got to look at this replay again. That was a nifty move. The cornerback really did not see it coming, but my short area quickness continues to be a problem for SEC defenses. Vanderbilt, the next casualty. We'll move forward now, 9-0, getting the ball here with really good field position as it's caught by Ricci. Breaking tackles, I'm pushing him in for a score. Mom, get the camera, he's doing the Gwitty. George Ricci with the touchdown with a little help from me blocking and pushing him in with some excellent dance moves. And it's now 16-0 as we again get the ball soon after with good field position as it's going to be a deep shot for the end zone. I hang on for this score. This is not Arturo Modelo's game. These jump ball type of plays, but A.J. Maddox places it perfectly in the bread basket, and even with the defensive back in the area, I still come down with it. And after our offense really struggled in the first quarter, we're turning this game into a blowout. 3 touchdowns over the last 2 minutes offensively. Another look at this really impressive replay. I have to high point the football, but I'm able to come down with it. And we get it back late in the first half, 23-0, breaking tackles, nearly able to get the first down as I'm looking for my 3rd touchdown of the game. And look at all that space. I can walk it in. That's one of my favorite plays, where I start behind one of the other receivers, because oftentimes the 2 defensive backs are both traveling with the other receiver, so that gives me all the space in the world to be wide open. I feel like A.J. Maddox hasn't noticed it throughout the season, but finally he does here, and that's a hat trick. 3 receiving touchdowns in the first half. I had the feeling we're not going to play a ton in the second half, considering how well our team is performing. 6 for 104 and 3 scores here in the first half. But we are going to get the ball back here again in the second quarter with one more opportunity. And it's a short pass caught by me, trying to break some tackles, get my 4th touchdown of the quarter, but I'm unable to. Nonetheless, really good first half. We are up 30-0, outscoring Vanderbilt 28-0 in the second quarter. The offense started slowly, but man, once we were able to put on the Jets, we did not slow down. Maddox with 4 passing touchdowns, 3 of which caught by me. I'm not sure why Ricci is the player spotlight, because I have doubled the amount of catches, doubled the amount of yards, and tripled the amount of touchdowns. But all right. Into the third quarter, nice play there going for the first down. Again, I'm not expecting an overly busy second half, but I still want to get active, making some plays here, losing yardage on the 3rd down screen. Nice tackle there by the Commodore defensive back. Still 30-0 with around 2 minutes to go in the third. As on first down, short pass caught by me. 10th reception of the game. Doesn't get a whole lot of yardage there, maybe 5 or 6. 2nd and 4 now. We're already chewing clock. We're already letting this clock go, and we're still in the third quarter as I hang on to that one. That'll go for a first down, and that's pretty much all she wrote. Ultimately, we do finish with the shutout, 33-0. 28 of our 33 points came in the second quarter. The offense did nothing the rest of the game, but it didn't matter because, well, we didn't need to. We got hot when we needed to. and the defense was top tier, 10 for 139, and 3 scores for Arturo Modelo, continuing to push that Heisman case. And now with just a couple more games left to go in the regular season, we are positioning ourselves to break some records, go for the Heisman, and most importantly, potentially make it back to the college football playoff after getting in for the first time last season at Miami. The scoreboard only says 31-0. I guess they're weird about safeties, but we did obviously win 33-0. Nobody played well on offense for Vanderbilt. As for A.J. Maddox, he had more touchdowns than incompletions. One of his best games of the year. He was not missing throws. He was on the money, delivering some big-time passes. 10 for 139 and 3. Again, big game for me. There's a bug going around hit by the offensive skill position players. So our quarterback and our running back are going to lose stamina. That's not good. What is good is we're going to get an NIL deal for a mattress company. We'll get +2 energy up front and 25,000 followers for each week of the contract. And we get comfy bedtime. So that's fun. That'll bring us here into I think we're in week number 11 now. I've lost count at this point. We're obviously still number 1 at 8-1 with 3 games left to go here in the regular season. And I am in first place for the Heisman watch, and deservedly so, coming off that big game against Vanderbilt. 92 catches, 1,500 yards, and 18 touchdowns. I've already broken the Ole Miss records for receiving yards and receiving touchdowns in a game. I've already broken the season records for receiving yards, receptions, and receiving touchdowns in just 9 games within the Ole Miss school history. In terms of the all-time SEC records, I've got a chance at these as well. Devontae Smith's Heisman season has him at the top in terms of receiving yards and touchdowns, while Amari Cooper is at the top in terms of receptions. I'm the all-time leader in career receiving numbers for Ole Miss. I feel like that's kind of stupid, though, because I only played 1 season here. Same with the SEC. This is my first season within the conference. In terms of national play, though, I've got a chance at some of these records, particularly the receiving yards mark, which is currently held by Corey Davis. Now, keep in mind, some of last year's stats didn't save, so we're about 300 yards ahead of what's shown on screen. But nonetheless, I'm in prime position to break the all-time receiving yards record and maybe the receptions record as well. Probably not touchdowns. We scored too little earlier in our career, so I don't think we're going to be able to hit 60, but we very well could break some big-time reception and receiving yard records, making us one of the most illustrious receivers in college football history with 3 regular season games to go. We're going to save that for the next episode, and along with the final regular season games, we are going to go through the conference championship if we make it, and the playoff if we make it, and what I'm planning on being the series finale. I think I said at the end of last episode that today would be the finale, but I wanted to split the senior season up into 2. Hope everybody enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.